So, welcome. As you know, my name is Temo Amota Theophilus. Today we are having an interview with my Oga. He's my in-law and he's my Oga. Sorry, you said the name of your farm
GB Farms.
is GB Farms. Right now we are in Ile-Ife, which is in Osun State. And he has a piggery and of course he plants and all of that. So I thought in our strive to help people know a little bit more about farming, we thought to interview and pick the brain of somebody that is a bit into farming, that knows his onion about farming. His specialty is pig farming, but then there are a number of other things that he does that a lot of us will learn from. So please stay with us and learn. So sir, please sir, can you introduce yourself to us?
Bolapo Abedi Mwande. I'm a university lecturer.
Okay.
I'm an engineer. To be precise, I'm an agricultural and environmental engineer.
Which, like I said, gives an advantage for somebody whose brain we can pick, so that we can learn a bit. He's not just good in the practical; he knows the theory as well. So, both sides of the coin. So, can you please tell us a bit more about your background and tell us how you developed interest in farming and why you are doing it?
Well, there are two things. I'm an agricultural and environmental engineer, and I have passion for farming. So I'll call myself a farmer. So the two go together and they work together. I have the educational background in agric engineering, and I have the practical background also in farming. Right from my childhood, I've had interest in farming, and I've always worked towards it.
Yeah, we can see. I can see you are there. I got here. I came to the farm with him early. I slept over at his place and came to the farm. So I've followed him about doing all the farm, some of the farm chores. Obviously, there's still plenty for him to do, but everything he has done so far, I've kept my eye on them. One of the pigs had babies this morning, about 10 or 11 piglets, and there's so much to learn. So I think the first question I want to ask, just so that you know I'm not telling you that farming is easy. Yes, it is easy. Not just that it is easy, it is something that you can do. It's not as difficult as we have been lied to, as we have been made to believe. But just so that we know there are difficulties, I think our first question should be, what are the issues so far that you have discovered about farming, and especially about pig farming?
Well, let's talk about farming generally. Farming has moved from the 100% manual work, and with technology, you can get so many things done using equipment, and that is very, very important. For somebody that wants to get into farming, you want to be able to invest in farming equipment, even on a small scale. There are some equipment that you can buy that can use that would reduce the
It's not just about equipment you can buy. Some equipment you can make yourself if you are thoughtful enough. There is this. What did you call the equipment? The shovel.
The pusher, trolley pusher.
Trolley pusher.
In place of shovel.
In place of shovel, so you can
pen.
Exactly, you can clear your pen of the feces of the animal. Then is that the only issue?
No, not the only issue. Farming, as good as it is, has its own challenges. I would say it has the good, the bad, and the ugly parts.
Okay.
The good side is when you're having results.
Okay. Of course, you do it.
When you rear animals, see
Everybody.
them growing. When you cultivate plants, see them growing, harvesting. That's the good part.
Okay.
The ugly part is the finance. When you need to, there's nothing that you will do that you don't need finance. You need to get this, you need to buy big feed, you need to get fertilizer, you need to get equipment, you need to get that. That's the ugly part. The bad part. The ugly part is challenges with farm workers. That's a great challenge. I'm sorry to say, the youth of nowadays, they're not ready to work.
Yes, most of us are not ready to work.
Even the few ones, you can only see very few that will be dedicated and committed. Most youths around, they are just there doing nothing, and they'll be complaining, there's no work, there's no work. There are work, and there's work. Sincerely, there's work. There's work. If the youth can work, there is
If
work.
they want to, yes.
If they want to work, there is work. So getting farm workers,
Competent
great
and
challenge. Competent hands. Sometimes you will get some. For example, let me share my experience. I've had experience on the field when you get workers, residents here, and you will think they are there. And
You have
fled.
accommodation for your workers.
I have accommodation for my workers here,
Okay.
and most of them have been residents here. But unfortunately, you will leave some here thinking they are there, and they would have fled. Not because you didn't pay them. In fact, some will even go with your money. Some will go with your properties. Just because they wouldn't want to do a dirty job.
Continue
Say it's a
the
dirty
work.
job, say the work is
Dirty-
hard, or the work
dirty.
is arduous. Or
Meanwhile,
whatever,
they
whatever.
want money,
And they want money.
and some of them even have space to start their own farm.
Exactly. In fact, there's no worker that I've got that won't give portion of land to if they want. Okay, you can use this to do your own farming on your own, just on your own.
I mean,
Whatever
and
produce
whatever
have
you
there
get is your
just
own.
yours, and they'll get their pay. But then they won't do
They
it.
don't want to.
They won't do it. That's
All right. So, the major hurdles so far that you have seen are workers, labor,
Yes.
then equipment, and then financing.
Finance. Yeah.
Okay.
Finance.
I think so. How did you come about? Did you get a loan to start your farm, or did you finance it from your own pocket?
No, I financed it from my salary. I didn't get a loan. There was a time I applied for a government loan through this microfinance, NISAL or whatever. But
You never got it?
I never. It was just like photo trick. We went for training, went for doing for that, but we never called for interview for. Well, I'll call it government photo trick anyway. So whatever I have here is through my own pocket.
Personal investment. Okay. So, what advice do you have for intending farming? Because obviously, the intention of this YouTube channel is to get more people to go into farming. I think, yes, getting labor is difficult, but like you said, you advise that any farm work that you cannot yourself do, that one should not go into it, because there have been times where even though you believe you have workers on the farm, you get here and find either they are not working well, they are not doing the things you are, or they have outrightly absconded, and then you have to do them yourself. Please, can you tell us more?
Let me partition that. If you want to go into farming, and you want, of course, you need to be knowledgeable about it, either by training or by self-development or by way of passion. If you want to start, if you are starting on a small scale, workers are always challenged. You know, if you need to employ 1, 2, 3 workers, it's always challenging. If you're starting on a large scale, when you have to train workers, some have money to attract them. If you have that,
Well, so you were talking about the advice you have for intending farmers.
okay, I've mentioned it. The small scale farmers, that's what I would say is what you cannot do in of emergency, don't venture into it. For example, I mentioned earlier that you will get to your farm and discover that your workers are fed. What do you want to do in the immediate time? You have to do it yourself. Continue doing it until you get another worker. So imagine if you cannot do it or you're not knowledgeable in it, I don't know about it, how would you do it? But in large scale, it's unlikely that you have 10, 15 workers and everybody is there sharing. Okay, so you still have some remaining. Some can do the job of the other. While you're sitting for you have workers like 2, 3. You can try to
Okay, I wrote down that your advice that what you cannot salvage,
on small scale, whatever you can't do,
don't venture into
you
it.
can't have a backup.
And then you mentioned about, you were talking about
Larger scale,
improvising equipment,
Workers, so
even
just
if you
one
cannot
lead,
buy
always
equipment.
the other.
I'm sure I'll show you guys what the equipment he called the trolley pusher, what it looks like. You should be looking at the picture right now. So, okay, I noticed one other thing that the feces from your animals, you don't just throw them away.
Yeah.
So what do you do with that?
I use them for purposes. Number one, I use them for fertilizer. I have the piggery section and I have the crop section. The crop section, I have the oil palm, I have plantain, and I have maize. Okay? Basically, I use the feces to fertilize the oil palm. They're still growing. The growing stage. Then fertilize the oil palm, fertilize the plantain, and then the crop field. Another thing that I use them for is to generate gas. I didn't mention this earlier. I'm a biogas engineer. I mentioned that I'm an environmental engineer. In the environmental aspect is the price of the biogas, where you can use the organic waste to generate energy. Okay, now so I use the big waste to generate cooking gas in my house, which I use to content for people also that are using cooking oil. I use this cooking in the house, I use for waste to generate another farm. I use it to breed chickens, I use it to apply it.
Yeah, you were telling me about the new research you are doing about
Yes, on incubator. You know, most of the incubators that we have around are electric incubators, and we're working on the project presently whereby we can use biogas to power an incubator. So in that area, you have the electricity, you don't have the electricity, you can still get an energy incubator, and this is working well.
So you see, it's not just about farming. There are other things that you can get from the animals. It's not just about selling the meat or selling the live animal.
Nothing is wasted.
Nothing is wasted.
This is for gas generation, and so on and so forth.
So now the question: how do you know what to feed your animals? And how do you come by them? How do you what inspires you to know the mixture, what to mix with what, and how to?
Well, number one, from training, from experience, and from research. People have been into piggery over the years. People have learned from experience. You need to read books. You need to learn. You need to learn from other people.
You need to watch YouTube channel like this one.
You need to learn from other farmers how they feed theirs, and there are formulas also. The formulas are not adaptable to all animals. But then, with some adjustments and then some practice, you could also get there. So that's how you do it.
Okay. So here you use.
We use spent berry, berry waste, call them berry waste, spent grains. We use palm kernel cake, and we use concentrates. The concentrate comprises of corn, soya, wheat offal, groundnut cake, bones.
Why is it called concentrate exactly? Does it mean that there is more, as in there's something in it that makes it more concentrated, or is it just that, is it called that just because it has a number of nutrients in it, or what?
The ingredients that are compounded, they are very rich in their nutrients. For example, I mentioned puri waste. Puri waste it's called a waste, okay? But it's good in feeding animals. The palm kernel cake is also a byproduct, just like the byproducts. They're good in feeding animals, but they are not as rich as the concentrates. Just like you, after eating meal, and you take those tablets, minerals, vitamins, or whatever. That's
just to boost the nutritional value. So, how important is monitoring on your farm?
Monitoring, I would say, is second to none. It's very important because no matter what you invest, if you don't monitor, to go down the drain. No matter the money that you put in investment, whatever the investment is, if there is no adequate monitoring, to go down the drain. For example, if you say you build a pen, you stock with pigs, buy their feeds, buy whatever, and if you don't monitor, how are you sure your workers are doing it appropriately? And then, how are you sure the animals are faring as they are supposed to be faring? The animals also need monitoring. There are cases when you have to be around with them. There are cases, for example, the pig that delivered this morning, if we were not to be there, one would have died. She would have slept on that one and died. So that is an example of monitoring. If somebody is not there at that particular time, we had cases whereby while they are giving birth to others, they will sleep, they will be restless, as in they will be tired, they will be heavy, they will sleep down and then will not stand up. So if they are slept on one of their bonds, the piglet, that's how that one will just die. So monitoring is very important. To monitor the workers, are they doing the appropriate thing? Are they mixing the nutrients, the ingredients that they're supposed to mix? Are they giving them at the right proportion? Are they giving them water as I went to? Giving them as a feed as I went to? And are they packing their waste as I went to? Are they cleaning their pen as I went to? All those things affect the productivity of the company.
You were telling me about the difference you noticed between when you were having the farm not as large as this in your at your house.
Yes. I started the piggery from my backyard, and not until I moved them to the farm before I knew that I could have pig mortality, especially when the pigs are at the piglet stage, and that tells a lot about the monitoring. Because the closest there in the backyard, I know what's happening when they're giving back. I'm always there. And this. When at the farm will get there someday. The distance is far from home. I don't have a worker resident here.
Okay,
so that tells a lot of difference.
Monitoring. How you mentioned that your animals were bigger.
They were bigger then. They were well taken care of.
Because you could always go to your backyard and check on them anytime. Unlike when you have to go distance and then
probably couldn't go every day.
It's like that adage. As in one's work cannot be compared with someone else's work. When you are doing it yourself, you cannot compare that with when somebody is doing it for you, because you will not do it as well as you will. So, what have we gotten from this? Farming is difficult, but it is not impossible. Right? I think that is one lesson we have learned. It is difficult because you have to do a number of things. You have to monitor your animals, you have to know, you have to do exactly, you have to learn. While you are farming, you have to learn. When you have issues on the farm, there are things that you should notice, that you can ask questions, you can Google is your friend.
Nobody knows it all.
Exactly. So you
ask around,
you keep learning,
research,
you learn
by experience,
and then
learn from experience, learn from people's experience, you go for training, you do research, and then so on and so forth.
Then when it comes to having workers on your farm, you need to be very careful, because you cannot trust them. Not because necessarily they are bad people, they are just not you, basically. What you, because you would consider how much you have spent on it, what investment you have done, but they just came, they are collecting salary. It's like that adage. Yes, Yoruba adage. Whether the boss sells or not, you will pay the labourer. So because they are not you, they are not so, as in so serious on one of the pigs just opened its pen. So
and then another thing about especially small scale farming, it also applies large scale farming too. Try to get farming equipment.
yes,
To reduce the burden of farm.
especially when you are doing it yourself.
To make farming less stressful for you, let me put it down. Not easier, but less stressful for you. Okay? There are some even small farming equipment, brush cutter, auger, planter, sprayer, chainsaw, and etc. that you can use on your own. That you can even manage your farm if you have the time without getting a worker, or probably get a part-time worker. You don't need to get a full-time worker if you have those equipment that you can use to do your farm.
So basically, the very most important things you need to consider when you want to go into your farm, you need to consider equipment, getting equipment. You need to consider the workers that will work for you. You need to consider how you will get finances, because for the first couple of months,
Yes.
yes,
You don't get anything.
you may not get anything out of the
just be
farm.
investing.
You just be reinvesting.
You'll be investing from years before the
Exactly. Before you can now start
Sell.
selling and all of that.
plants. Depending on kind of crops you plant. If it's cash crop, it will take you like 2 to 3 years to start getting returns.
So you cannot just expect that when you start farming, you start getting things immediately from it. So when you are going into the farm, you have to have another source of income, because the farm will not give you what you will eat immediately. So there has to be something else that is bringing income to you and your household. And then we talked about getting, as in improvising equipment. What else do you?
What? The after all is innovation. How you can make work less easier for you.
Exactly. So that it's not everything you have to do, like this equipment he talked about, the shovel trolley. It was born out of him not wanting to be bending down all of the time to pack the waste. So he got that. When you are on your farm, when you are doing things, you can think up ways to make things easier for yourself, so that,
For example, if you have people now, you may not need to construct a wall. You can get a local drinker. That will save you strength of having to pour water inside the wall.
exactly,
You just go there and do it.
you will drink and leave
You
when.
can make a shower, a sprinkler, whereby you can sprinkle water on them. You have to do that. You have your back and fill up their lid.
Okay, when they are hot.
When you're hot.
So you see, different things will, like they say, necessity is the mother of invention. You need to
Michael,
invent things as you go. So I think basically for this video, we'll still come back at a later date. You'll see much of these piglets are older, and we'll still ask more questions. For now, our topic today is on pig farming and animal and planting, how you can make it easier for yourself. Thank you. So thank you very much.
you're welcome.
Our able engineer.
You're welcome.
Yeah, very,
It's my pleasure.
we are very, very appreciating.
See you anytime.
Thank you.